Yo, 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 to everybody out there in YouTube land, thank you so much for showing up, everybody. This is Omnibros live and in color, going live today on this fancy, nice Wednesday, boiling hot all across the country. I hope everybody is doing well, staying safe, staying cool. All of our chat people are cool. This is the cool place to be. Being here is like being in the beer freezer at the grocery store. Just go in there, sweat a little bit, cool it off. But we're set to make it a great day today, everybody. With that, can't have a great day unless I have my partner in crime, the one, the only. Got my boy, Comics Guide here. What's up, brother? Say hi to everybody. What's up, Lou? Get off mute and say hi to everybody.
Hey, everybody. Happy Wednesday. You've survived. You've made it through the middle of the week. Goddamn weekend's only 2 days away. We're ready to go.
Hump day?
Yeah.
Day?
That's right. We're here to carry you through the next 2 days. Hopefully provide some little entertainment, a little bit of escape of the craziness that's going on in the world right now. Just kind of here enjoying a wonderful Wednesday afternoon.
We all live in a simulation, and I think what's been going on recently kind of proves that fact.
Oh my God.
It is wild. We got some wild news to talk about today. I just found this article, some announcements. We got some cool news today we're going to talk about.
Okay. Cool.
But speaking of cool news, we got the one, we got the only, we got the best place online to get your omnibuses and collected editions and manga and all that great, awesome, fun, cool stuff that we love, that you love, coming to you from InStockTrades.com. That's right. Let's get this ad going today at the top of the show. InStockTrades.com, where you don't pay, please, don't pay cover price for your omnibuses, collected editions, manga, all that stuff. If you're watching us here on Omnibros that means you're smart.
Yep.
That means you are practical with your money. That means you want to stretch your dollar as far as you can with your collection, with your reading material, with your comic books. So you want to check out InStockTrades.com, where you can get your collected editions 52% off, sometimes even higher if you check out that red tag sale they have. On top of that, if that's not enough, you get an extra 2%. Another 2% off if you make an order and make another order, because you get a 2% loyalty discount on all preceding orders. Free shipping in the United States, USA. On all orders of $50 or more, you get amazing packaging. This is the kind of packaging that just stumps everybody else out there, the kind of packaging that you want to keep. I sell a lot of stuff, so I keep this, and I use it when I sell things. If I got to ship something out to a friend, whatever the case might be, you get all of that. Free shipping for $50. What a deal. Once a month, they give us a $50 gift card that we give to one of you out there in the chat. We just did that on Monday. So shout out, much love, and congratulations again to Jewish Dragons, who won that $50 gift card. I think that's been sent out already. So keep an eye on your account, Jewish Dragons, if you're watching. Should be seeing that credit soon. All of that at InStockTrades.com. The awesome sponsor of our show that they've been sponsoring us for like 15 decades. It's amazing.
Yep.
We are set. We love In Stock Trades. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. You could be anywhere in the world, but you decided to hang out with us today. So let's make this happen. Whew.
Yes, sir. One hell of a promo. Good job, sir.
Man, I'm just coming off that. I don't know. Maybe it's because I just got off of work. Mm-hmm. Kind of a little buzzed out, ready to go. A little excited. Energy going.
Hell yeah.
Let's make it. Let's do it today.
Hey, man. So I brought this up in the chat, and I kind of also wanted to see what everybody else thinks about this. We were talking about in the chat the work shift. What is the worst work shift to cover. I think all of us have
bring
had,
up that image for us.
yeah, all of us have worked some pretty shitty jobs, right? But you got to do what you got to do. We've all had some jobs where, you got to work the bad shifts and everything like that. You got to make your ends meet, and then eventually you move up, you get a little bit better. But what is the worst shift to work? I put it in the chat.
Yeah, let me bring it up. I'm gonna bring up that image.
Because I remember, I think, here we go.
Can we see this? Okay, am I?
Yeah, you can see the full chat.
Yeah, full chat. Let me try this again. How do I do just that image in our chat? Let's learn how StreamYard works live. There we go.
Because I saw this video on my Instagram feed and I thought this is pretty good a topic. What is the worst shift to work? Our choices are the 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. shift, the 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. shift, the 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. shift, the 3 p.m. to 11 p.m. shift, and the 11 p.m. to the 7 a.m. shift. We've both worked in restaurants, so we've both had experience with a lot of these shifts. We pulled doubles, we've had to pull openings and closings. So my 2 cents, I think the 3 to 11 is the worst shift because your day is shot. You get the morning, but then the afternoon is done. You don't have anything going on in the afternoon. Not only that, most people work the day shift, so you're not going to be hanging out with anybody.
So you're saying 3 to 11 is what sucks, right?
Yeah. Oh, 3 to 11 is the worst.
I mean, I've worked plenty 3 to 11s in my day. I think it just kind of depends also on the job. Yeah. Like when I was working restaurants and in bars and casinos and stuff like that, that 3 p.m. to 11 is the money shift. Like that's that swing shift where you make all your tips. You get that dinner rush. You kind of get the end of the lunch, and then about that, 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, you get dinner, that crazy rush. That's money in like the food and beverage industry.
True.
But you are right. You get your morning, when I was doing it, I didn't have any kids or anything like that. But I could see, okay, I could still take the kids to school. I could still pick them up, go to work, and be set like that. But you're always kind of like checking your watch, right? Or your phone. You're like, all right, okay, I got 3 more hours for work. Okay, so I can still go to the store. I can still run errands. I can still do chores. I can still sleep. I can still read comic books, play video games, whatever. But you're constantly going like, all right, I got this much time. I got this much time. I got this much time. But that's the money shift. Like if you're looking for money, like that's where you're going to be making like, 2 bills a night, depending on where you're working.
If you're working,
I hate that graveyard shift, the 11 to 7 shift.
You want to know
that is, what's that?
I've never worked a graveyard. No, I take it back. I did a graveyard shift one time when I worked at a Timberland store. I did it for Black Friday. I didn't hate it. I did not hate it. And it was Black Friday.
I couldn't stand it, dude, because this I said in the chat is you're living in a different world. Like you live on a different plane of existence than anybody else. Okay. You start work at 11. So your sleep schedule is crazy on the days that you work. Right.
Yeah.
So you get home at 7:30. You probably don't go to bed right away. You probably you still kind of jazz from work. Uh-huh. You go to bed and you sleep all day into the early afternoon, right? Then the early afternoon, you take care of what you got to take care of day-wise. But you live in a different world than everybody else. And then on your days off, dude, it does not feel like you have a day off.
Really?
Because on your days off, you still go to sleep at quote unquote normal hours. Like you still go to sleep like at 8, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, whatever it is. So you're sleeping on your day off on the hours that you normally would work. So you're not really getting a day off. Like you're just sleeping through it.
I didn't think about that. Wow. I never thought about that mindset shift. Wow.
That's how that works. Yeah. And like you never really see the day, again, depending on what kind of job you have, that's where you see like the crazy people kind of come out at night. Like nobody should be up like at 4 o'clock in the morning unless you're on crack or something. Like that's what I've always considered. If you're up before 5, I always call that crackhead hours. Like there's no reason for you to be up at that time. You go to work and it's dark. It's just a completely different world that you live in on that graveyard shift.
Yeah, Chris Rock used to have a bit. I think it was Chris Rock about nobody that is up to anything good is at an ATM at 4 in the morning or 3 a.m.
Yeah,
which is pretty true. I've never. So I did the graveyard shift once, and I didn't think it was that bad, but that was only one time. I've had friends that are nurses, have worked retail, and have done overnight shifts, and they say it's not bad at first, but that shit hits you hard within about a month or two of constantly having to do it, and it really fucks you up after a while.
Yeah, I did graveyard at a cafe here in Vegas for like a year and a half.
Yeah.
So you get kind of acclimated to it and stuff like that, but you're still just kind of thrown off. But then I got a different position that gave me a different shift that gave me that 3 p.m. to 11 shift. And that is a total change of experience too, where those first couple of weeks, it's almost like, you ever have jet lag? You ever do like a plane trip and you're all with like time zones and stuff like that?
Yeah.
And it takes you a while to kind of readjust and acclimate to things and all that kind of sort. Same thing. It took me like a week or two to kind of get used to being up earlier in the day and seeing people and stuff like that. That graveyard shift, there's people out there who love it and that's their thing. I know in Nevada, I don't know about anywhere else, but I know in Nevada, those hours you get like a pay differential. You get like a little bit of a pay bump kind of thing. Fucking not worth it. I don't care. Like you can keep that 30 cents or whatever it is. Like no way. Yeah. But if you're something like working in a casino, that's all they have. Like that's your foot into a casino. You're gonna have to just live graveyard for a while.
Yeah, you got to make your what's the term go? It's you got to make your bones, or you got to break in. You got to earn your keep a little bit. So you're gonna probably get most jobs. I think, especially most jobs when they're retail or they're something that's paid hourly. Chances are when you first start, you're gonna get the shitty shifts, right? You're gonna get the really bad ones. You're gonna get the weekends and stuff like that. Your weekends are a wash in a lot of those places because you got to earn your keep.
Because everybody wants the weekends off, right? Because everybody else in the world typically has days off. Kids are out of school,
right?
So you got to have like some kind of seniority to get those kinds of shifts for the most part.
Typically, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Let's take a look in the chat. All right, so go back a little bit so we can see. Okay,
I'll go through the game. Dr. Elevator hates 3 to 11. He knows what's up.
I think 3 to 11 is the worst shift. I really do. I've worked it.
I love that 3 to 11, dude. I love that shift, dude.
Dude, I did 3 to 11 for about 2 years when I worked at a deli at my university. And it wasn't bad, but it's what you say. You're just constantly looking at the clock going, shit. My afternoon is pretty much shot. I didn't actually, crazy enough, I didn't mind it when there was a game on the university because we would get hit with rush hour around 9 o'clock, and those last 2 hours fly by. And we close. Here's the thing: you don't get out at 11 when you work at a deli or at a restaurant. You're in charge of cooking and stuff like that. Most of the time, you don't get out at 11. You don't get out at that scheduled time because you got to prep, you got to clean, you got to make sure everything is stored away properly, everything is marked down and stuff like that. You're getting out close to midnight, and that was usually my life. For about 4 nights a week, I would get that 4 to about midnight was my shift.
Yeah. It's again, it just depends. Like, I mean, I was in my 20s working in casinos, working in bars. You get out at 11 and it's time to party. Like you just go right to the club or you go right to, another bar that you don't work at. And you got a couple $100 in your pocket of tips, and it is party time until you pass out at 6 o'clock in the morning or something, right?
Oh, so man, yeah.
This all just depends on lifestyle and where you are and things like that. But yeah, 11 o'clock, that's when the party happens. So You get to the club about 12, pregame it before you get there, and it's just you roll from there.
Yeah,
NFL dude. Yeah, what's up?
No, I was saying what's crazy to me. What's crazy to me is that if you work at a restaurant, we've mentioned this before, but the movie Waiting, pretty accurate in a lot of restaurants of what that life is like. So when I worked at a Cracker Barrel, I would cash out the tips and stuff like that to certain people. They would come to the register and I cash them out. And it was not uncommon to see couples that are in established relationships hook up with other employees at Cracker Barrel and walk out of the restaurant with them hand over their shoulder and stuff like that. And I'm like, he's got a wife and 2 kids, and he just walked out with the waitress that's brand new here, hand over her shoulder. So that's wow.
There's something about a restaurant where you're going to end up hooking up for the most part. Like,
it's always
there's something about that industry where people just get together for sure, because you're working so close together. There's something about restaurants where they always try to hire like fairly attractive people. Nobody wants to order food off of some sloppy dude that has like dirty belly buttons and stuff, right? And it's always, especially like the hostess, hostesses are always the ones that people were kind of hooking up with, because those from where I worked at, those are always like the hottest ones that filled those positions. They always got the hottest ones for front desk.
If you were good at the Cracker Barrel I used to work with, because it was close to a huge airport in Orlando. If you were good, a lot of these waiters and waitresses would walk out on a really great night with $200, $300 in tips. Cash.
Absolutely.
I'm cashing it out, and I'm counting about $200, $300 in tips. It's insane. Yeah. I'm like, Jesus.
I've been there. I just walked out with $250. I'm throwing that in a slot machine. I got $1,000 or something. But again, in your 20s, I had a bunch of roommates. There wasn't much responsibility. I just threw away money. I was like, who cares? I'm just going to make it again tomorrow, right? Or then there'd be nights where it's like, God, today sucks. I barely made enough to put in my gas.
Earth's Geomancer says 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. graveyard is the worst. Forces a serious lifestyle change.
Yep, it does. It's and who is it? Yeah, he even says down below, it's he has a friend that does it, and it wrecks your health because you can't sleep right. It's 6:00 in the morning, and you're having dinner, or you're drinking, or you're not sleeping normal hours. It's hard to sleep when the sunlight is up, so you got to get like blackout curtains or whatever the case is. So it's definitely like it's for people that of that ilk that can handle that kind of stuff. That takes a lot to take care of for sure.
I don't know if I could ever do it. Gurdon95 says graveyard is definitely the worst for me. You just don't feel good. Poor guy.
No, because there's something about the human body that knows nighttime is for sleep, and you're going against those instincts or whatever it is, and just like it's Geomancer, it wrecks your health. It's you going against your normal body mechanisms for sure.
NFL dude says, when I was a mall cop, 4 to midnight rocked because all the businesses closed around 7 to 9. So I would chill in the office and read comics when I wasn't driving. That sounds like a cush gig, man. That doesn't sound that bad.
Take a nap.
That does not sound that bad.
Yeah. And he also says, when I was a bouncer, a manager in his 30s was hooking up the 20-year-old host who came from Hooters. That's typical. Like there's definitely a hookup culture when it comes down to food and beverage. Like hookup culture, STDs, whatever it is. There's always a party. Like if you worked in a restaurant, it was a party for the most part, especially like in a bar. Like everybody's drinking, you're having a good time. You're still working, but there's just that atmosphere of it being exciting and fun, just like Waiting. It's always just this, like the movie Waiting is always, you got fun, you got excitement, you got people with personalities. There's a lot going on.
Oh, dude, so, I have told my wife multiple times that if this doesn't work out, what I'm doing right now, which, oh God, I would not mind just going to work a line in the back of a restaurant. I actually enjoy working in the back of a restaurant. I don't mind it too much.
You like back of the house?
I love back of the house.
You like cooking, washing dishes, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind. I don't mind that work. I really don't. Especially the prepping, the cooking, the working the line. I really don't mind it. Dishes, but working the line, I really don't mind it. I actually enjoy it.
Yeah.
I like the relationship that you establish with some of your coworkers and stuff like that. Because some of the best people that I've ever met are some of the shadiest people that I've ever met, and they worked in the back of restaurants and had the shadiest past.
Yeah, they were always sniffing their keys for some reason.
Yeah, so, and you really do establish a relationship. I remember once, so I used to work at this restaurant. It was something else in college, and there was this old Mexican woman. She was probably like 4'11", something like that. And we used to do what was called pot room. So pot room, you were in charge of washing all the pots and stuff. Everybody fucking hated pot room. I hated pot room.
Mm-hmm.
You were in charge of washing all the pots and everything like that at the end of the shift. You were usually the last one to get out and everything. And you had to work with the steaming water and the hot machine. So this woman, she was a fucking pro. She's been doing it for a long time. First day I did the shift, right? They didn't tell me the water was boiling fucking hot with the machine that they're using. And the steam was also really hot. Dumbass me, I was a college student. I didn't realize, of course, it's going to be hot because it's cleaning all the pots and stuff. So I open the machine up. I grab the pot. Immediately, my fingers are just, and I'm screaming to heaven in pain because it was so steaming hot. 4'11" lady next to me just looks at me and just gives me this look like I am such a fucking bitch. She
picks it up with one hand, like whatever.
Dude, she bare hands the thing, holding it in front of me, and just stares at me like this ain't shit, man. And she
it's a different breed of people that work back at the house, like cooks and like the dishwashers, because they're around that hot stuff all day long. Like they're sweating. I worked at a restaurant, and one of our cooks was a younger guy, but he had a drinking problem.
Yeah.
But it wasn't that bad because he would come to work and just sweat it out as a cook. You just see him just sweating it all out, right? But these are the type of guys that would like they would test like the stove or the range or whatever by putting their hand on it. I'm like, you guys are psychopaths. Like, there's no way I'm putting my hand on it to see if it's warm enough to cook food. Like that's crazy. Even at home, I just splash a little bit of water on it or something, right? Yeah. So that's crazy town. Crazy town. Look who's in the chat. I haven't seen this guy for a while. What up, Make Havoc?
What's up, brother?
What up, brother? Good to see him back. It's been a minute. Let's see. News Pooey channel?
I think that's it, yeah.
Sure. 11 to 7 a.m. was a fun gig for me in my early 20s. I grew up social phobic, and it got me away from other people. It was quiet, and no one watched over me or complained about my work. Sure. Again, I think it all depends on what kind of industry you're in and stuff like that. Like I've worked office jobs middle of the night like that, or I was doing room service at a casino out here, and graveyard was dead. So all we did was just kind of just walk the floors, make sure there weren't plates or anything like that. And I would just take naps in random places, and so. But yeah, if you're not a social person, you don't like being around people, then like Jess and Lou, then yeah, go there with those late night hours.
Yeah, I'm just not. I've never been really that social of a person. Just by my very nature. I'm not the outgoing guy in a party or anything like that. But the people that I do establish bonds and relationships with, I hold on to that really a lot. I think part of the reason also why I liked working back at the house was I'm not interacting with too many people. I'm just dealing with the people back there, just doing orders and cooking and doing what I got to do, cleaning plates or whatever it is. So,
no, dude, I would, like you said, if I needed like a second job, I would do some kind of. I would love to be like in a restaurant or a bar, but I don't want to be a waiter again or a bartender. Let me be a bar back. Let me be a busboy. Let me just be someone that kind of just runs around and puts stuff together and picks food up and kind of be like a helping hand and get that tip money that way. Like those are always my favorite jobs. Were like busboys.
Yeah. Yeah,
Like my Mexican mom, being able to flip tortillas on the coma, maybe that means stove range. I'm not sure. With her bare hands. Do
yeah, that
you do,
woman.
you- do you flip your tortillas barehanded, barefingered, or do you get like tongs,
Me?
or what do you do? Yeah.
Oh no, I'm a bitch. I do tongs, man. Fuck that. No, I
Really?
grab.
Oh man,
Yeah, dude, I do tongs. Come on.
we're going to take
I'm
away your green card for that, dude.
Oh man, I am way past that, dude. No, respect to anybody that does it, but no, 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 no.
Yeah, I absolutely just on the fire, like on the stove, or even like the flat top on my stove.
Yeah.
I just pick it up with my fingers and just flip it, like whatever.
Oh man, no, 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 no. Jeez. I think the
There's
real
times where it's
question.
like, oh man, I just burnt the hair on my knuckles or something like that, But
I think the
whatever.
question here is my next question for you would be before we start getting into some of the stuff you pulled up is when you grill, are you doing wood? Are you doing charcoal or propane? Because you
I have
grill
propane.
pretty often. You
I
have
have
propane?
propane. I have propane.
Okay.
Yeah. Because I got like
Okay.
a propane, like open, like a propane. What is it called? I got a propane grill. I have like a fire pit that's propane too. So
Mhm.
you know, I've never figured out how to light coals the right way.
Really?
I get scared of spraying all that like lighter fluid on it. My dad had this thing. It was like this metal container where
Mm-hmm.
you would put. It would be like two separate parts. It'd be like two layers. The top
Okay.
layer would be all your coals, and the bottom part would be you would put like newspapers or crumbled up papers or
Right.
wood or whatever, and you would light that, and that would light up the coals.
Mm-hmm.
But like people that go to like the park and they have like those coal grills where you got to just go in there and spray it with like lighter fluid or whatever and throw a match.
Yeah.
No way, dude. No way. No way.
Oh man, no. I use charcoal. I use charcoal and I throw in some wood chips in there. Usually like
Okay.
a cherry wood, just to kind of give it more of that smoky taste to it. Yeah, every time. Every time. For me personally, I don't care for the taste of propane too much. I think there is a bit of a taste to it, and it just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
All right, what you got?
Let's see. So I found this as we were talking earlier behind stage in the green room or whatever. This is just saw this and I was like, dude, we got to talk about this. Marvel shocker. Russo brothers in talks to direct the next two Avengers movies.
Uh-huh.
All right. So let's see here. The Russo brothers are in early talks to return to Marvel Studios to direct not just one, but the next two Avengers movies. Sources tell the Hollywood Reporter. So this is fairly, Hollywood Reporter is a website you can trust. This isn't like, some other just random thing on Instagram. But either way, this hiring ends a months-long high-stakes search by the studio for filmmakers to oversee the fifth and sixth Avengers films. Well, high-stakes search, and we just went right back to our common denominators, our familiar faces here.
Mm-hmm.
Multiple names were in contention, including Deadpool and Wolverine director Sean Levy, who was offered the gig. Sources says the talks are in early stages. The movie also marks a homecoming for the Russos, the move also makes a homecoming for the Russos, who jumped from the world of TV comedy on shows like Arrested Development, Community, to blockbusters a decade ago, Captain America: Civil War in 2014. In total, they directed 4 of Marvel's biggest and best regarded movies, going on to helm Captain America: Civil War, Avengers: Infinity War, Avengers: Endgame. Combined, their Marvel films grossed $6.681 billion, with Endgame standing as the number 2 movie of all time globally, with $2.79 million itself. So, what do you think about that, man? What do you think?
Okay. So there's quite a few things here that I think about this. I'm amazed that for whatever reason, Marvel's in a bit of a mess right now, right? I think we can agree. There are some things about Marvel right now that it's not looking good. Blade is just a disaster, which for some fucking reason you can't get Blade right when it was already done right back in 1998, 97.
What's so hard about a vampire killer movie? Like, what's so hard about that?
Right? Yeah, you don't tie it into really anything in the MCU. You just make it Blade killing vampires.
Yeah.
It's not rocket science. Just make it fun. It shouldn't be that difficult. This movie's been in development hell for a long time.
Like what, 5 years for Blade? About?
Blade's been in development hell for about 5 years.
Before COVID, I think.
Yeah, this one I think's also been in kind of a development hell for about 2 or 3 years now at this point, because they Jonathan Majors, that whole situation, then the Kang thing where everybody's like, I'm not fucking feeling Kang. I don't like Kang as a villain. It's not working. And then there was
to be fair about Kang, they didn't give that dude a chance. Like,
no,
we never got the real Kang. Like, Ant-Man had kind of a cool Kang, but he was still like Kang -1 kind of thing. Like, he was still like, but we never got much Kang at all.
Yeah, they really did not make that Kang stuff work. And then this project where it's had writers, it's had multiple directors. So I think the safe bet is to go with what you know, right? The Russos really haven't had a hit since Endgame, right? The stuff that they've been putting out really hasn't hit with audiences. It hasn't been that great with critics and stuff like that. So this just seems like a safe bet. Why not go back to Tom Brady, right? Tom Brady is a safe bet. He's going to win you the Super Bowl. Why not go back to the guys that won you the Super Bowl in the first place?
So what have they done since then? So after Endgame, let me pull this up. Show you. I'm looking at their Wikipedia. Come on, fool.
It hasn't been great. I don't
After Avengers Endgame, I don't know what 21 Bridges is.
Never saw it.
That's a Chadwick Boseman of all things. Interesting.
Yeah.
Moso, never heard of that.
Did they direct or produce them?
Okay, so the first column is
director.
So they directed Avengers Endgame. They haven't done any directing. They've been just kind of producing, it looks like.
Yeah. Extraction, those movies are good though, but they produced.
Yeah, they were just producers or something on that, right? Producers and writers.
Okay.
The Gray Man, which I heard was supposed to be pretty good.
That was okay. I saw that. That one was okay.
Yeah, none of this makes. Yeah, I haven't heard any of the stuff they've done recently. So yeah, all right, I co-sign that.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, did they really? Like, dude, they got a $3 billion movie almost, right? So,
well, yeah, that's why you go back to them. It's a safe bet, right? They delivered before. You want to do Avengers, go back to them. It's a safe bet. They can right the ship and they can deliver again. Makes sense. I think it personally, it makes a lot of sense. Do we even know what the villain is anymore? Is it still Kang?
No. Nobody knows anything at this point. Like, it's, again, maybe Deadpool Wolverine will give us some information, because that's the last movie we've gotten since, what was the last Marvel movie before like all the strikes and stuff like that? Was it Ant-Man? Was it Ant-Man?
I think you're right.
Because they were still trying to establish Kang as being it. So
yeah, I think it is Ant-Man. Shit, I think you're right. Oh man, we're a week away from Deadpool. I just realized that.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm pumped. I got my tickets ready to go and everything at this point.
I'll be in. Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, they're going back to what's familiar. Hopefully this works out. I mean, every movie they've done for Marvel has been out of the park. It has been just top-notch stuff.
Oh yeah. Winter Soldier is still, I think, the best Marvel film. I love Winter Soldier.
Where's the Marvel movie? What was the last Marvel movie we got? Why is it not on here? Why is it not easy to find?
So it's a safe bet to kind of go back to them. Personally, I feel like they can deliver. I think they'll deliver. Now, the problem I think also that we're running into is, what's the Avengers team right now? We don't really have one. We don't know what the new Avengers team is going to be. They haven't established it. They haven't established a figurehead for the Avengers, right? Because at this point, what are we, 4 years now into the post Endgame? Endgame was 2019, something like that. So we're 4 or 5 years. At this point, I believe we were already deep into phase 1, heading into phase 2. You knew your central pins were the big 3, right? It was going to be Tony Stark, Captain America, and Thor. Those were your big 3. We really don't have that now. We don't have the central linchpin of this new MCU. There was talk apparently that Chadwick was supposed to be it, with Black Panther originally, but unfortunately Chadwick passed away, and now we're a few years away from that, so I think we could safely say they should have recast, unfortunately.
Absolutely.
And that's not being cold to Chadwick. Chadwick delivered an amazing performance, but they really should have probably recast.
Well, everything right now that I've been seeing about any kind of Marvel news seems like they're trying to go back. Like they're trying. Apparently, again, this is like one of those rumor sites that Shuri is going to pass on the Black Panther mantle to somebody else, like
the Sun.
The Sun, right?
Yeah, remember the post scene in the Wakanda Forever?
Right.
Yeah, it's supposed to be going to be the Sun. There's going to be a time skip or something like that, and it'll be the Sun. This is so convoluted. It would have been so much easier just to recast. Because originally also the second Black Panther movie was supposed to be about the relationships between fathers and sons and how that plays out. But Chadwick having unfortunately passed away, they had to pivot and shift things around. This is a roundabout way of getting back to T'Challa, but not T'Challa being the Black Panther again.
Yeah, they stepped in it. Like they made their choice, and now they got to lay in that bed, right?
Yeah.
And who knows? I mean, the big rumor, everybody's speculating that Secret Wars is going to be like a hard reset, right? So maybe you can get not Chadwick Boseman, of course, but T'Challa as Black Panther again and right that ship. So I've heard about that. I've heard about them still trying to convince Chris Evans to come back. I don't know if that's supposed to be like a new Captain America movie, or everybody seems to really think it's going to be like that time frame and he goes back into time with Sharon Carter and they have a life together or whatever in Returning to Gem.
And hey, Chris Evans has said he's more open now to come back to doing Captain America, which good for him. Chris Hemsworth has said, I'm not fucking doing any more cartoony shit for my own sanity. So if I come back as Thor, it's got to be for a really good reason. And I think in a way Chris Hemsworth is also trying to kind of move away from that stuff, especially if you've seen Furiosa, which that's my favorite film this year. I watched it about 2 weeks ago, and oh my God, Furiosa is so fucking good. I'm kicking myself for not seeing it in theaters. Chris Hemsworth almost steals that movie. He is so much fun as the villain in that film. So maybe some of these guys will come back for the right paycheck. I think Downey's even said he'd consider it maybe. I think that's kind of up in the air as well. But look, Disney.
But you're right. There is no Avengers team. Like, who the fuck is on the Avengers team? Like,
there is no team.
Is it Sam Wilson as Captain America leading it? I don't know. We'll see what happens in whatchamacallit.
Which actually, I'm kind of glad you brought that up, because that movie's also been in development hell for a long time. Is the Captain America Brave New World or New World Order, whatever?
I mean, that was writer strike, actor strike, COVID, right? That whole the whole last 3-4 years has been ridiculous. Reshoots with Homeboy joining in, out of
the Serpent Society was apparently in it originally, and then all that stuff got cut out, and that movie's just been a mess. That trailer came out, I gotta be honest, looks pretty good. Actually, like, it's giving me some Winter Soldier vibes. I'm not hating the trailer. I think it actually looks pretty good.
I agree. The trailer looked good. I think Red Hulk looked a little off, but you only saw him for a second at the end. Like he looked kind of faded red. Like I wish they would brighten up his color a little bit. Yeah. But again, trailers are made to or designed to make you want to see the movie, right? So it's
Yeah.
doing its job. It looks exciting. I'm gonna see it, but we'll see what's up. I'm hoping for the best. Like, I'm hoping these last all the stuff that's been going on after COVID stuff, right? All the writer strikes, director strikes, all that they're using this time to put all their ducks in a row, get this going, go back, figure out what's going wrong, what they can do to kind of improve and kind of capture that lightning in a bottle again. I hope they're using this time wisely to kind of beef this stuff up a little bit. I mean, even Thunderbolts has gone through a lot of reshoot stuff, right? Or recasting. It was supposed to be Steven Yin, homeboy that's from Walking Dead, was supposed to be Sentry.
Right.
Stuff got delayed. He bombed out. Some other guy got recast as Sentry. I think they finished. I don't know if they finished filming it, but I know homeboy that plays Red Guardian, he's done. So that's all kind of in the jumps of things. Yeah. So we'll see, because Marvel needs to step this up, because you got James Gunn shooting Superman right now. That's almost over being shot. That's going to be released in almost exactly a year. So DC's doing their thing. So there's going to be this, I don't know if you want to call it competition, but you're definitely going to have that DC Marvel film back and forth going on again. They have to earn they're going to have to earn people back, because, superhero fatigue or whatever you want to call it. The last few years, people have been I'm tapping out. This isn't for me anymore. This isn't really doing it. So we'll see what happens.
It's going to be really interesting here when we start getting, even this year, because we're going to start getting glimpses of what James Gunn has planned for his universe, for the DC stuff, because we get Creature Commandos later this year. A lot of people are forgetting we're getting that animated series this year. There's speculation we're getting a trailer at San Diego Comic-Con, so I'm looking forward to that. So we're going to get a little taste of what he has in store for us. They're already filming Peacemaker season 2, so DC right now is full force ahead with this new universe with James Gunn. And it's going to be really interesting to see how things play out, because James Gunn, I don't think he's missed.
No way, dude. He's had 1,000 of these superhero movies.
He has not fucking missed. And they stole steal is probably a bad way to put it, but Warner Brothers, after that whole fiasco of James Gunn getting fired and everything like that, said, "You want to come over here and do some really cool shit?" And James Gunn was like, "Sure." You want to lead the initiative for the entirety of the DCU going forward? Sure. So if it's going to be really cool, and we've seen some set photos and things like that. James Gunn is going big for this Superman film, real big, because it's not just, it's Superman and then we get Batman in a post-credit scene or something like that. No, we're getting a lot of characters in this Superman film. We've already
new characters we've never seen before. It's not just they just keep bringing in all the same. It's Batman and Flash and Wonder Woman again and Aquaman. Yeah. No, you got Mr. Terrific. Who knows who Mr. Terrific is, right?
And he looks great. Yeah. He looks ripped right out of the comic book.
A lot of other mysterious characters showing up. Guy Gardner. Who knows about Guy Gardner, right? Goddamn. Homeboy's supposed to be Metamorpho. There's all these characters popping in. We still don't really know who the villain is of that movie. Is it the engineer? The fucking engineer from Authority is in this movie as possibly one of the villains. Brainiac has been tossed around as being a possible villain. This is real new characters that are getting developed and introduced to the mass market for the first time.
Right. And people are going on right off the bat, it's too many characters and everything like that. I'm like, you guys, we got Peacemaker, we got Guardians of the Galaxy. Mm-hmm. These are all properties that have had multiple characters and a lot of characters, not one or two. And you fall in love with a lot of these characters. Dude, Diebeard. Nobody would have thought, I'm not going to give a fuck about this guy nicknamed Diebeard in Peacemaker. And you end up actually liking the guy. Eagly. Fucking Eagle.
Who was Peacemaker's homeboy? Vengeance?
Oh yeah, the one that fights the white supremacists in jail.
Vigilante. Yeah. Yeah.
Vigilante. NFLB pointed out
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
All those characters, especially even you're talking about like James Gunn's like Suicide Squad, where the opening cast all get killed and it's a new cast that starts up afterwards. Yeah. So
Oh my
like,
god.
arm fall off, man. Like, god damn it. Like, come on.
Milton, the guy who walks
Yeah.
around with the chalupa bag or whatever, the burrito bag.
Yeah. Polka Dot Man, like all that stuff. Really cool.
Yeah.
Starro.
I think if anybody can balance out multiple characters in a movie, it's gonna be him. Yeah, good point. I didn't even think about that. Fucking Polka Dot Man. Who gave a shit about Polka Dot Man until that Suicide Squad movie?
Yeah.
So
shout out to I forgot the actor's name. He has like a funny name.
Des Malchin. That dude's on the come up.
Yeah.
He's been working for years, but he's on the come up now. He's great. He's really good. Yeah. But yeah, I think I've said this before. I am more excited about the future of the DC stuff than I'm way more excited about the future of the Marvel stuff. Bring on all the James Gunn stuff that's coming. Yes. Please.
I've been saying that James Gunn was announced doing all this stuff. I have full faith in James Gunn because he's taken every lackluster D-list, F-list, Z-list character in the movie and made him like the most popular Peacemaker. I mean, goddamn Peacemaker, bro. Like, that's one of the coolest things we ever got was Peacemaker. Perfect casting by John Cena. Perfect casting. Like,
spot on.
Extremely charismatic. I mean, he stole the movie. And he was like the villain of that Suicide Squad movie, and he just stole every scene, dude. So, Guardians of the Galaxy, those are all no-name characters, Suicide Squad, again, the new Superman movie is going to have Metamorpho. Like, come on, bro. Like, this is going to be something. Right.
Nobody knows who Metamorpho is. Nobody in the regular outside world knows who Metamorpho is. And chances are, by the time this movie is done, a lot of people are going to fall in love with Metamorpho. If this is done, I'm sure. I'm so excited for this, man. And then we got Supergirl along the way. We have so many great properties, so many great films that are along the way. And it seems like they're casting and they're getting the right people to do these films.
It's exciting stuff because, it's exciting stuff because, like you said, Supergirl is in production. Lanterns, we're finally going to get some Green Lantern stuff. Like, that should have been Snyder's like, tip of the sword. Should have been Green Lantern stuff. Absolutely. But we're getting Guy Gardner in the Superman movie. And that's probably going to be people's favorite character. He's probably going to be a complete dick, and everybody's going to love it, right? And then we're getting Lanterns. That's apparently supposed to be Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart. Again, just everybody's going to fall in love with these characters, I think.
Yeah, and kind of just bouncing back to a conversation we had. It was probably a few months ago. This was probably on the Patreon stream that you can find at patreon.com/Omnibros Live, where Gabe and I will have our next stream. We settled on a date. It will be the last Saturday of this month, which was
Sunday.
Excuse me.
The 28th.
July 28th will be our next stream. So for $5, that's right, patreon.com/Omnibros Live. For $5, you can join Gabe and I as we talk unfiltered about a lot of things going on right now in the world and in comics and in movies and everything like that. And we might have a few drinks along the way too. It'll be fun. So please join us.
If not more. It's always been a fun. Those streams are out of control because it's always the selling point is we get to talk about stuff that we can't talk about on here because of YouTube. We get to show videos. Like, we watched movies with Patreon people. We watch TV shows. We do trailer reviews. We talk a lot of smack. Like, it's a fun time for sure.
Yep.
Dude, NFL dude makes an excellent point here. Look at this.
I didn't even
Damon Lindelof is one of the showrunners for Green Lanterns. Like, come on, dude.
And look, Damon Lindelof gets shit for that last season of Lost, but he also did Watchmen, which to me is the greatest comic book show of all time. He also did The Leftovers, which is an incredible 3 seasons of television. So look, Damon Lindelof he's okay in my book. I'm excited to see what happens here. they're doing.
They do, and I'm sorry, but Tom King is involved in all this DC stuff. Yeah,
I was literally about to talk about that. They are going back to the early days of Marvel, where they had the Marvel Brain Trust, where they had guys like Brian Michael Bendis, and they had a few other people that worked and consulted on these films. Tom King and a few other creators are working on these projects.
And that's perfect. That's what we need. We need people who understand these characters. We've talked about it on Patreon. I showed videos where all the, like Taika Waititi and all these other like directors and writers of these Marvel films are like, I don't know anything about Thor. Like, I'm just making stuff up. Like, this is me just writing, not having any kind of history or appreciation or understanding of the characters and stuff like that. So now you got Tom King, and I forget who else, but you got that. You have somebody who's in the trenches of these characters working on these movies. You'd be like, no. Batman doesn't talk like that, or no, it isn't working out the right way, or this bringing these elements from the comics, that kind of stuff. You got somebody in there who is attached to the actual universe of these characters. So,
right,
exciting stuff there.
A lot of exciting.
I'm looking forward to it, man. I want these movies. I want good movies. That's all. I don't care. I want these things to be good and exciting. Marvel's got a lot going on. Like, we still need to introduce the X-Men, which I'm guessing maybe Deadpool might have something to do with maybe introducing some X-Men. Mm-hmm. Fantastic Four. Like, there's rumors of the Fantastic Four. They're saying that Silver Surfer. They basically admitted that it's going to be a movie based in the 60s, an alternate universe. They're going to play Silver Surfer. It's probably not going to last beyond that. So on all that whole thing for me. But we'll see. Like, they got a lot going on that they need to do.
Yeah.
Oh, Jason Aaron's posted on this a few weeks ago. He was on the Superman set. Damn, dude, Jason Aaron.
You know who was also on the Superman set? Was
the Inside Trades people.
Yeah.
Cameron and Christina. Is it Christina Merkler? Yeah. They had some big old retailers there too. So
yeah, I thought that was actually pretty cool that they had a bunch of retailers and stuff like that show up on set and everything. And
I think we're on a path. I think we're a good path. I think we're going on a good path. I think, like I said, I think they're going to use this time wisely and make the best they can out of it. I hope. If everything that comes out after this is still like lackluster and garbage, it's going to be like, forget it. What more can you do?
I really hope not. Jesus.
Oh, Thunderbolts really sucked. Oh my God. Or, I have very high hopes of Wolverine and Deadpool. Really high hopes, just because of the last two movies and everything about those last two films. And I don't watch trailers too much. I just saw the first trailer for Deadpool, but everything looks exciting for this movie. But we'll see what else.
Those movies are still
good. I hope this movie is as exciting as I want it to be.
Yeah, those movies are still good, man. I love those first two Deadpool movies. I watch those first two Deadpool movies at least once a year. I die laughing every time I watch them.
That first one is still fantastic. I haven't watched the second one in a while. I need to watch it again. I haven't watched it in a long time, so it's still kind of new to me. Like, I think I've only seen it in theaters. It's the only time I really saw it. But that first one is just kicks ass from beginning to end. I love that first one so much.
You got anything else for us?
That's the only thing I found so far.
That's about it. All right. We're kind of getting to the hour mark, and it's been a long day for me. So why don't you give them the plug?
Let's do it one more time, everybody. It's InStockTrades.com. Again, everybody, thanks so much for showing up and hanging out with us today. We'll do a little bit more talking, but let's just go through and let everybody know where they can find their omnibuses, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, manga, and even more on super cool discount. 40 to 50% off, sometimes higher on all your trade paperbacks and collected editions, 2% off on preceding orders as a loyalty discount, free shipping in the United States on orders of $50 or more. We do have a $50 gift card that we give out once a month to a lucky viewer. Who else does that for you? Nobody else is giving you any kind of money We're giving you free money, and that's open to everybody. It's a worldwide gift card from InStockTrades.com. $50 gets you free shipping in the United States. Awesome customer service. The best packaging. You cannot go wrong with using InStockTrades.com. Use them if you're smart and want to save money, or not really save money. Buy more books with the money that you have is the idea. So InStockTrades.com, everybody. Boom. Get this down.
I got a mini haul of some films for Prime Day. If you want me to go through some of those real quick.
Let's see what you got. Did you get the one I sent you?
I already have a copy of Goonies. I just haven't watched it. I have the deluxe edition. Give me a second. I'll be right back.
All right. I told him to get Goonies in 4K because on Amazon right now it's only $10. I had $10 and some change. And Lou is just doing the cardinal sin of never watching Goonies. So everybody just spam Lou, hit him up on Instagram or whatever. Just spam him and be like, "Did you watch Goonies yet? You need to watch Goonies. Hey, you guys. Like, do you even get that reference? Rocky Road? Like, what's going on here? The Truffle Shuffle?" He doesn't know that. What's up, man?
Now, Goonies or Monster Squad? Which one should I see first?
Goonies.
Okay.
Yeah, Monster Squad's cool, but Goonies is a coming of age movie.
Gotcha. Copy.
Yeah.
Okay, so Prime Day kicked off, and they had some really solid deals on quite a few 4K discs. For those of you that don't know, I'm an old fogey, and I still collect disc instead of. I prefer to collect disc instead of stream stuff. So I picked up season 1 of Sandman. This was on sale for $20, so I had to grab this. I still haven't seen it. I saw the first episode, and I really liked what I saw. But I really wanted to get a disc of this because I needed to see it in its full, uncompromised, uncompressed glory. I'm super excited. I might actually pop this in tonight to watch the first episode again because I really dug this. And Sandman's one of my favorite comics of all time. So, good stuff. I grabbed that. I grabbed the 4K copy of V for Vendetta. This is kind of a guilty pleasure for me. I actually really enjoyed this movie when I watched it years ago. I haven't seen it since I was a teenager, basically.
Just have a thing for hot chicks with shaved heads?
Yeah, it's kind of my thing. I remember really enjoying this and watching it. I know it doesn't really compare to the comic, but still as a film, I think it's pretty solid, and it's a lot of fun to watch. The next one, this is 100% a guilty pleasure of mine, and I swear I think this is a good film. This is Jaws 2. Jaws 2 is on sale for $10. Jaws 2 is a good film. I will die on that hill. Jaws 2 is fun. Jaws 2 works if you think about it from the perspective of it's a slasher film. And that's all it is. Is it as good as Jaws 1? No. Nothing is as good as Jaws 1, right? You can't. The mistake of Jaws 2 is that it tries to be Jaws 1 and it just does not live up to it. But Jaws 2 is still really fun if you're looking for a good time. And plus my wife, for whatever reason, loves animals versus people movies. That's kind of the thing she enjoys. Right, sweetie? She loves watching animals versus humans and just the craziness that unfolds with that. So we'll probably end up watching Jaws 2 this weekend.
Did you guys watch Cocaine Bear?
We started watching Cocaine Bear, and there was not enough Cocaine Bear in Cocaine Bear to hold our attention.
Okay.
And the last one I picked up was Life. I haven't seen this, but I have heard it's really good. It's kind of a pseudo Venom symbiote movie without actually having Venom or the symbiote in it. But I've heard it's really fantastic. And Ryan Reynolds is in this, Jake Gyllenhaal, Rebecca Ferguson. So I've been wanting to watch this for a while. My brother swears that it's a good film. That's what I got today.
Yeah, I need to go through Amazon's deals and see what they got for the 4Ks and stuff. There's some good stuff I've seen already, like Goonies, the Lord of the Rings, complete collection. That's all like really super cheap, but gotta see what we got going on because this is the time to get these kinds of stuff. You know, I don't want to pay full price for these for these films. You know?
Yeah, there are some great deals right now on some good discs. I mean, I think Dune 2 is probably for $22. Oppenheimer was $15, something like that. So there's some good stuff out there.
Yeah, I just can't find a way to filter it all, but I just kind of just dig through and find it.
Go to Blu-ray.com. They have, go to Blu-ray.com and they constantly update the cheapest prices for discs and stuff like that.
Oh, Suicide Squad's $10.
Yep, the 4K of that, and it's a gorgeous disc. Blade is $14.99. So if you haven't seen that, a lot of good stuff on sale.
Let me see here. Yeah, I see up here on the top. Look at that. Is that the complete collection of Game of Thrones?
Yeah, but that's standard Blu-ray. I'm pretty
well,
sure, or it might be the 4K set. I have the 4K set.
Sherlock. Yeah, man, right on. There we go. Whiplash for $13, $14.
A lot of good stuff on there.
Yeah, I'm gonna go through here and see what is what. Oh, here it is. You got a whole page. What's all the deals?
Go to scroll up real quick. So this is how you filter this. Scroll up. There you go. Go to newest deals, then hit 4K Blu-ray. And there you go. It shows you all the deals for Amazon. Starship Troopers, $22 for that steelbook. I love that steelbook.
There we go. All right. Blade. Yeah, not bad. That works. Parasite.
Cliffhanger.
Oh, look, Fall Guy. Ugh, who cares?
I need to watch that. I wanted to check that out.
Ooh, Crybaby. All right. We'll take a look at that later.
Yeah, there's some good stuff there, man. All right, but I'm ready to get out of here so we can close this thing out.
All right, everybody. Again, everybody, thanks for showing up. Like, subscribe, share. Tell your friend. Tell your mom. Tell your mom I said, what's up? And we'll see you guys. Tomorrow's the manga show with Gio. Riley's still my shout out to everybody in the Houston, Texas area that's still dealing with like no power, no lights, no water. All that stuff is just hectic and crazy. So much love. Absolutely. Shout out to everybody out there because Riley's still dealing with it. So I'm not sure if he's going to make it to the manga show. Manga show tomorrow. We'll be back on Monday with the normal fun Monday show of previews, hauls, reads, and just good old chit chat. Wednesday, manga. Don't forget, everybody, the 28th is going to be the Omnibros After Dark Hangout where we just keep sniffing our keys and talk about stuff that we can't talk about here on the show. It's a fun, cool hangout. We're on the screen here with us, and we're just hanging out, chilling, having fun, making friends, all that kind of great stuff. But with that said, Lou, you want to tell everybody where to find you, or who cares?
I really don't have too many socials that I'm active on. I mean, I guess to the three of you in the chat that are watching this after that follow me on Instagram, thanks for following me there. That's pretty much the only thing. My Twitter is active, but it's only active when there's a wrestling event, and I'll just comment on that. That's about it. I've never used Twitter other than like posting my thoughts about wrestling events. Twitter has become just such a horrible experience in general. So
apparently there's a 4K of Wizard of Oz.
There is. I haven't seen it.
Man, that's going to be dope. Also, one more thing about Goonies. Goonies, directed by the director of Superman, Monster Squad, the director of RoboCop 3.
Damn, not even RoboCop 2, RoboCop 3.
RoboCop 3, the one that I saw in theaters as a kid. I was like, this is weird. I wasn't a kid, I was a teenager, but still.
Oh, man. RoboCop 3, he gets the jetpack at the end, right?
That's the one he gets the jetpack.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. RoboCop 2 is with Frank Miller, and it's a kid doing drugs, and the drug dealer gets his brain put into a giant killer robot that's addicted to drugs.
I love RoboCop 2. I have another back for that. Yeah.
I love 2. 1 is a masterpiece because he shoots a dude in the dick, but 2 is just 2 is a cocaine movie. 2 is absolutely a cocaine movie. We're saying this happens, and this happens, and this happens, and then this happens. But with that said, we're out of here, man. We'll see you guys soon enough. Stay safe. Stay cool. Collect what you love. Love what you collect. We're out of here.
Good night, everyone.